Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at DXS04 Shinkalion E3 Tsubasa from Shinkansen Henkei Robo Shinkalion the animation. Another one of these excellent trained robots. If you're not watching this show, it's definitely a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. I think they're to about episode 15, something like that at this point, so totally could still catch up. The pilot is pictured down here in the lower right hand corner. Now the train itself is kind of more of a darkish blue color, but there is kind of a hint of purple in the blue, but they have really taken the purple and just run with it for the packaging, and I kind of like it a lot. I think it's very colorful, very fun, especially when you already have like a lighter blue colored train. So it kind of makes sense to kind of use purple as the identifying color for this one. So they're all different because we already have a green, a red, and a blue. So bring in purple, I say. But yeah, very, very cool packaging. I like this a lot. Picture of the train here on the side. Shinkansen Ultra Evolution Institute, which is very neat. So as you can see, this guy kind of has like an overall like ninja shinobi kind of feel to him. He has this weapon that turns into a shuriken, which is pretty cool. And he's kind of very like jumps around, stealthy and stuff like that on the show, kind of the characteristics of the robot and his powers. So pretty cool. Obviously he can combine here just like all the others. I guess I'll bring down the E5 and show you that. I'm not going to run through all the combinations. It would take forever. As we get more and more of these trains, I'm probably going to phase out the Link Gatai thing going on here, just because it's the same principle for all of them. You literally just pull them apart at the waist and mix and match the tops and bottoms, and you know, it's just not as exciting to go through every single possibility as you add more and more trains to the roster. So I'll probably start phasing that out. I mean, you guys will know how it works. It's not rocket science. But anyway, back of the packaging here, very cool, very neat. Shows you over here the transformation from train to robot. Then you have a cool picture here from the cartoon. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the packaging. I'm going to go ahead and get them out of there, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here is the train all assembled out of the packaging here. You can see it's 3 components. The front, the back, and then the middle car. And they are all linked together, as you can see here in the center. Here and here. Roll very nicely. They're all compatible with the plow rail system, so if you have some plow rail track, you can go ahead and put this on, and it will roll very nicely around the track. I'm going to go ahead and just disconnect these, and it's a little difficult to do so, and I'm always a little afraid I'm going to break them, but they're usually fine. You can see here the connector, and that just clips in there. And then on this side, you have a similar connector, and that clips into this piece here. So this here in the middle is our kind of passenger car. You have this neat little JR East Japan sticker there with some snow-covered trees, which is pretty cool. JR stands for Japan Rail, which is the main train system in Japan, and over here you have kind of more of an autumn scene, which is kind of cool. So very neat. When you open this up, you have the weapons, which we'll take out now, and then you have the crest for the Link Gatai that goes on his head. So we'll take these out now, and then we can put this off to the side. Just put that all the way over there, and we will come back to these 2 pieces later on in robot mode. So here we have the 2 parts of the train. As you can see, looking at them head on, pretty identical. I mean, you can tell from the seams and whatnot that they transform differently. But aesthetically, they're very similar. And like I said before, it's kind of a dark navy blue. It does have a tinge of purple to it. It's a little bit purplier in person. And yes, I just made up that word, purplier. And I love it, so I'm copywriting it, purplier. More purplish. Purple-like, however you want to say it. But it's definitely coming up more like navy blue on camera, but it is a little bit more purple in person. So that's why I said in the packaging they kind of ran with the purple color, and I like it. I think that's a fun idea. I honestly would have been okay if this was very much like a royal purple. I think that could have been fun. But I think in Japan they're looking to I should say, these trains are meant to look exactly like ones that really exist in Japan. So I guess they don't really have a purple train in Japan, but sometimes they have a Hello Kitty one, and sometimes they have an Evangelion one, which is purple. But in any case, that's a story for another day. So again, these roll very nicely. We will go ahead and start the transformation into robot mode. So I wanted to move the camera up because this guy's going to be fairly tall by the time we're done. I'm going to put this one off to the side. We're going to start with this one, as this does become the lower half of the robot. You're going to split right here, and then these pieces will kind of drop down just like that, and then they'll be off to the side. You can go ahead and split this in half, and that will naturally stop there just to spread the legs out a little bit. You're going to come to this section here, and these little panels will actually flip up. You can see there's a double hinge, and I'll get closer so you can actually see it. There's a double hinge here and here. So, and to be fair, if you've seen my other videos or just other videos of these toys in general, they do transform fairly similarly to each other. So you move those flaps up, then you're going to kind of move this piece out of the way for now, swing the foot back, it's going to click into place, and then the whole piece that it just clicked into place will swing around, and you can see the slider here will actually slide that up as you do it, and then it'll click into place. So you do the same thing over here, bring this back, you hear the click, bring it forward, you hear the click, and then you have this ankle movement, this great ankle movement, which is really nice. And there you go. That's pretty much your lower half. Now with these, you can move them however you want. I kind of like to put them back a little bit. If you wanted to put them forward, you certainly could. That's up to you. I kind of like to put them back a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. I also forgot to stretch out the knee joints here. That's going to give you a little bit more height. So there you go. There is the lower half of your train robot. Coming over here. You're going to split this in half in the back. You're going to bring these out, and you can see here that there's a tab that's going to tab in here. But before you bring it all the way in and tab it in, you want to drop this part down for the arms. And you're going to do this on both sides. And then you can go ahead and tab those in. And you'll hear a click. And then at this point, you want to fold out these fists that are here in the forearms. Do that on both sides. You're going to come to this back forearm, and this piece is going to fold around and fold into the forearm there, so it's a little bit out of the way, which I appreciate. At this point, you can press this button here, and the head will pop out, and then fold this panel down. And there you go, you have your head. The only thing left to do is down here, you're going to pull this panel back. Then you're going to bring this section down. This is going to become the abdomen. And then you're going to just go ahead and connect these two pieces together. And then at that point, you can fold this kind of back up just to get it out of the way. So like I said, by the time we're done, this guy is going to be rather tall, but he looks fantastic. Points of articulation, head can, I believe, go side to side and front to back, so it's on a kind of a limited ball joint there. You have a shoulder joint here. Listen to those beautiful tight ratchets. Very nice. Then you have a bicep swivel. You can do a little bit up and down here as well inside the shoulder, but then there's also a bicep swivel, and then of course there's an elbow joint there. The wrists don't move because of the way they fold out. Nothing here in the waist. You can move the legs in and out, but that's really just the transformation. And then you do have two joints here in the knee though, which is nice. And then of course you have that beautiful ankle tilt like I mentioned earlier. So really cool, really nice articulation. So much better than the original version. If you guys watched, I have the original version of the E3 on my channel from years ago, and it was very spring loaded. Like you press a button and the arms flipped out, and it was all spring loaded and it didn't stay together very well. Like if you shook it like this, the arms would really move back and forth, which I didn't appreciate. And this is a beautiful update. So even if you have the older versions, I still really recommend picking these new ones up just because the transformations are better. They hold together a lot better. The detailing is nice. He does have a few stickers. You have some stickers here and here, 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 and then on his arms. So just a few stickers to apply, and then obviously we'll bring his weapon in. Every one of these yellow caution tape things is a sticker. So you have these two weapons, which you could peg on the sides of his arms if you like, which I kind of like that look. It almost gives him like Wolverine claws, which is kind of fun. So you could do something like that. You could, of course, peg it into his fists and just have him use it as a weapon. Now, I believe this is how they fit into the train piece easily, but I believe on the show, and I could be wrong, I think they do it more like this so that there's more space in between, almost like it's a scissors thing going on. And of course, you can do any configuration you like. If you like making it a diamond so it has that space in between, you can do that. If you like putting them together so it's more of a square, you can do that. And then, of course, you can take them. And there's two different configurations for this as well. You can do just kind of like put this like this and then peg these on top of each other. You can actually just peg it right in. You can see there's a peg hole in the center and, of course, the peg he's holding it by. You could put it in like this and then just kind of hold them out and make like a ninja star shuriken that way. Or you could, of course, just take these off and put them all on one and make a shuriken that way. So I kind of wish there was a way he could hold it by the blade, like the way you would actually throw it. But he can hold it just the normal way like that. Now, as you add more, they kind of get in the way. So it's just something to be careful of. Or, of course, you can put the shuriken on his arm like that if you like. The other thing you could do, these could be used individually. So you could take all these pieces off, and you could put the blades just on his arm like that. You could put them on the back here like this, just to give him kind of like a cool flare. Almost to make it look like little wings. Oops. Or you could knock them off, you know, just like that. So I think something like that's kind of cool. I kind of like the one blade on each forearm and then maybe have two in the back like that, something like that. You could even peg him in here if you wanted to some reason have it there on the side. So I just think it's so fun that there's so many possibilities. If he's not using it, you could just store it on his forearm like that. And then when he's ready to fight, have it flip down. So I think this is just really cool that there's so many possibilities with this weapon. And that's why I think I didn't used to care for this weapon very much, I have to be honest. But I really do feel like the more I play with it, the more I see there are a lot of options for this weapon. And I think that's really cool. You can take the blades off and use them individually. You can combine the two together. You can put all the blades on one. You can connect them all over his body in different places to make it look like wings and things like that. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and put them back together and store them away back in this thing. And I just put them back together like this, and then you just pop it right in here. And then it stores away very nicely. So I just think that's neat. I think that's a really neat feature that it has all of those possibilities for the weapons. There's a lot of playability there, and I like that a lot. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the Link Gatai. So we have our two Shinkalion robots here. I'm just going to go ahead and pop the torso off of this one and put that off to the side. And then we will pop the legs off of this one and put them off to the side. And then you're just going to drop these together like this. And there you go. You have the Link Gatai. Now you're going to take the crest that we talked about earlier. And there is a little channel on the side of his head right there. I'll see if I can get in closer and tilt this up. You can see the little channel right there. And so this just slides right in along that. There we go. And then I knock everything over because that's what I do. So there you go. I really like that. And it's almost kind of like a samurai helmet with this kind of crest piece up here and everything. And that makes sense because he's kind of a shinobi ninja type situation. So I think that's really cool. It's a really cool headpiece. It fits with the kind of characterization of the robot. And it looks really cool connected to the head of the E5 here. So I love it a lot. Really cool connection. Like I said, I'm not going to go through all the possibilities, but any of the 4 trains up until this point, there's even a 5th train out now, which I just haven't gotten to yet. They can all interact and switch their tops and bottoms, so lots of possible combinations to be had, which is very, very cool. But this is the one picture on the box, so I decided to show you this one, and I think it looks really, really cool. Alright, so of course we have to take a look at the new Shinka card that we got. Here is the E3 Tsubasa, and like I said, they kind of went with a light translucent purple, which I think is pretty cool. Picture the robot head. This side, pretty basic, standard Shinka card. Other side here, but really like this, and I love the translucent purple. I think that's cool. I brought in the E5 card just to show off the Gatai, but we'll get there in a minute. So let me zoom out a sec here. Gonna go ahead and pop this into the reader piece. And come around to here. And pop it in. So there you go. There's the transformation jingle. I like that a lot. Very fun. If we come up to the 0, so there you go. The final attack is the shuriken. I think there's also a... Okay, so it's pretty much the same. Sometimes if you do it quick without letting it charge all the way, it's a different attack than if you let it charge all the way, but in this case it was pretty much the same. We'll go ahead and do the Gatai. So there you go. In this case, it's actually different from what I showed you. The E3 is the top and the E5 is the bottom, as opposed to the other way, which is what I showed you with the actual toys. And then we'll do the final attack. So it basically just says the 2 different attacks, but very cool. Love the sound effects there. You have the sword for the E5, and then of course the shuriken for the E3. So very neat there as well. We go ahead and take that out. And take this out and close this back up. I didn't show you like the... You can use the pass to scan it. I'm pretty sure that those are not specific to each pass. I'm pretty sure it's just whatever pass you use, you get a random destination phrase. So what I showed you so far is the actual specific sound effects to the E3. Now you can use the E5 as the main and then put him in as the secondary connection and get, you know, a little bit different of the order of sounds, but I'm pretty sure the sounds are going to be the same. It'll still just say the 2 different attacks. It'll just say the other one first and then this one second. So not really super exciting there, but I do think it's fun to get the individual sounds for the transformation. And then of course, it's another mix and match possibility when you're doing the Link Gatais, which is really fun. So I think this is another excellent card to add to your collection, and I love the translucent purple. Another excellent train robot to add to your collection. I've been having a blast with these. Even though I have a couple of the originals and I bought them kind of years ago at this point, it's definitely worth rebuying these new versions because the toy engineering has really come a long way. They took out all the spring-loaded gimmicky pieces, which in my mind really brought down the quality of the figure because nothing really snapped into place and nothing really held its form, and just kind of you could move it and it would wobble, and that always bothered me. But all those problems have been solved with this. Even the connector pieces hide so nicely into the robot now. They don't waggle or constantly move back and forth when you're handling the figure. So I feel like they really kind of took the main design and then just tweaked a couple things that they must have gotten complaints about, because these figures are a lot of fun. I love that the fists aren't built into the forearms anymore. It makes it easier to hold weapons. The legs have ankle tilt. There's a knee articulation that didn't used to be there. Just all around, it's a solid transforming robot figure, and I really like them a lot. So I don't really have anything bad to say about this one. If you've been collecting the others, I say there's no reason not to add this guy to your collection. If you're not watching the show yet, I definitely recommend you find somewhere to watch the show. There's some online sites or some torrent sites or things that you can get it from. They're really, really fun, and I definitely advise watching the show. The toys are really fun, and then you also have the kind of roleplay gimmick with the tickets as well. So there's just a lot of playability here, and it just makes for a really good time. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I love hearing your opinions. Please like and share this video, and please subscribe. I hope you guys have enjoyed this look at the DXS04 Shinkalion E3 Tsubasa from Shinkansen Henkei Robo Shinkalion the animation. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.